Hello and welcome to Wild Card from MUNPR, our new interview podcast coming from our studio at number 205 HSS Tower, right to your ears. I'm your host, Caleb Lance, and my guest today is a brand new UTK Munner who you may already be familiar with. Cooper Chinault is, did I say that right?
Chinault.
Cooper Chinault is a first-year global studies major from Elizabethton, Tennessee. Cooper, like myself, did not have the good fortune to attend a high school that offered Model UN as an activity, but as soon as he came to UTK, he signed up for our club. MUN isn't just a hobby for Cooper, though. It's career training. He hopes to one day work for the real United Nations or a governmental organization, and he's also involved with UTK's Student Government Association as a hopeful future member of the First Year Leadership Council. Cooper, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, for our listeners, if you want to understand how the interview is going to work, the questions, the cards, just go back and listen to the interview with Jack Oliphant. About a minute in, I explain all of that. So go ahead and just start off here. Why do you want to be membership chair?
I want to be membership chair because my kind of philosophy for whenever I'm involved in any club, the best way to get involved, like fully dive into it, is by doing some sort of leadership within that club. It's kind of like learning. The best way to learn is by teaching. So if you put yourself into it, you have to, know your job if you're leading other people. So knowing the organization completely would be kind of the base why I would want to start or why I would want to go for chair. Kind of the other reasons for the specific duties of the chair, I would want to, for planning parties, I'm a really big social person. I always like making connections with people. I always like, those social gatherings. And planning parties is something I've done throughout all of high school for other organizations. I was in Key Club, SGA, and band, and all those organizations were very, very community-based. Also with the philanthropy and service projects, with Key Club, I did about 300 volunteer hours throughout my high school career.
Oh, wow.
And that was just kind of something that I always thought was just way more fun to do with people. So, having that community, having the people to help you out in the service projects, I think that's something that's so important to not just the club, but just to people in general and overall who they are as a person and growing as a person. But yeah, those are kind of just the sort of top base reasons why.
Yeah, no, definitely, for sure. There are definitely much worse reasons to run.
Yeah.
So the membership chair is largely responsible for all of our club's social events and outings. What is one event or outing that the club has not done that you would organize if elected? Now, I know you're a first year, so if you name something that we've done before you got here, I'll let you know.
It's a really good question. I would host a service project, but also within the form of a party. So something that we would always do in Key Clubs, for example, is we would have at the end of the year a service project where we'd, whatever it was, we would be having the service project going on, but at the same time partying and also celebrating our accomplishments throughout the year. So something like that I think is always fun because you can get two in one. You're having fun with all your friends, getting to have your little party or whatever, but also doing a service project at the same time.
Yeah,
if that's not been done.
Yeah, no, we have not done that. We've done, of course, we've had our fair share of parties, and we've done service projects, but I don't think we've ever combined them. The one I can remember off the top of my head is a river cleanup, and that didn't seem like it would flow very well with a party environment.
Right.
All right, so on to the round one personal question. The theme of round one is memories. So left, middle, or right?
We'll go with middle.
Middle. All right. You ever had a nemesis?
A nemesis?
A nemesis.
I guess. Maybe a little bit. I would, for SJ specifically in high school, I would have to run against this one person every year for the same spot. Uh-huh. And I always beat him, so I guess
scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess if you're keeping score here, but no, we were friends, but I've never had a hatred towards someone, but
yeah. So do you think the fact that you're new to MUN helps or hurts you in this election?
That's a good question. I feel like there is an obvious answer with having no experience within high school and also, being brand new to this organization would be, it hurts me, but I kind of would see it in the other way because I'm bringing a completely fresh perspective to the table. I'm bringing, new ideas that maybe MUN hasn't had before just because we haven't had members from my specific perspective of where I'm coming from or what I've done throughout my life. So I think just that clean slate of like not knowing anything about what you guys do and just kind of bringing up brand new ideas would be something that would be helpful for me running for it.
Yeah, definitely. A fresh set of eyes can be helpful. So why are you qualified to be membership chair?
I would say I'm qualified to be membership chair because like I've stated previously, I was in all those organizations, but I also led all those organizations that I was in. I was head drum major for 3 years. I was lieutenant governor on the district board for Key Club, and then I was president every year for SGA. So having that leadership experience has something that's been something that has really, really helped me develop leadership skills, just because when you're kind of thrown into the deep water or whatever, you're going to have to figure it out. But I have really good time management skills with doing all that stuff as well. So that's something that I am pride myself on, is my time management. And also I'm a really big social person. Like if you ever want to talk to me, hang out outside of MUN, I would be down to, I love hanging out with people, getting to know people, hearing new perspectives. So I think that extroverted side of me would also help be a good side for the chair. And I would assume there's a little bit of public speaking in front of people. That's something I have no issue with. I've spoken in front of crowds of thousands or more. So it's really something I kind of actually enjoy, is being up in front and helping people in any way that I can. Yeah.
It's certainly possible to do the job of membership chair as an introvert, but it's much more difficult. So aside from the once a semester engagement fairs, which, the fall ones already happened, that's how you found out about us, we're not particularly involved with the broader campus community. Right. So how would you, as membership chair, better integrate us into the wider university ecosystem?
So that's actually something that I was thinking about today. I went to a Circle K meeting. Not sure if I'm joining that yet or not, but just, interest meeting or whatever. And I kind of noticed that a lot of the clubs seem a little divided here at UT. So with SGA, I think that partnership there could be something that could help incorporate this club into a bunch of other clubs, because SGA is kind of like the base club for all the clubs here. They can connect everyone, because it's literally, that's their job, is to connect everyone. So having that, if I was in the SGA and also chair here, I could definitely bring connections there. I also have a lot of really close friends in fraternities and sororities, and I think if they ever wanted to do something, it's not the same usually group of people, but it could always be fun just to get other organizations together and have those parties and maybe throw a service project in there.
Yeah, for sure. I would be remiss not to warn you. We've tried to. Both sides have tried to work with SGA and MUN before. The funding has often been a issue of disagreement because the poli-sci department funds both of us, and so the money we get they can't have, and the money they get we can't have. So that has been an issue of contention in the past, but no reason it couldn't be solved. All right, round 2, insights. Left, middle, or right?
We'll go with left.
Left. All right. What do you find hardest to model for the children in your life?
I honestly wouldn't say I have many children in my life. I am the youngest of 4 siblings, so I always kind of grew up, as the child until now. But do I find hardest to model for the children in my life? I would say honestly just this is a really good question, because I'm I don't even know that many children, so I don't know. I would just, for a child in general, right? I would say I find it really hard to model, maybe organization, because I'm organized, but in a really weird way that my brain, works with it, and it is it works for me, but a lot of people would just kind of be what in the world, So if I had to teach a kid something, and I'd be all right, you got to organize it by each letter by last name, but you have to put it in reverse order, because that would make more sense to me. It's just they'd be okay, what in the world? So I would say maybe just organization, but if it came to personal skills, I would say hardest for me to model would be if say if I had to teach an introverted kid how to go up to someone, I would say that's really hard for me to just be all right, you can't, because I don't understand their perspective in it. I'm more of just go up to someone and talk to them, or just go try to make friends or whatever. But they'd be okay, how do I do that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that would be hard for me to help them show them how to get out of their shell.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you told me before our interview that you wanted to work at the UN someday. Why is that?
I've always had an interest in like just global like politics and global economy, global cultures. I took this class called AP Human Geography my sophomore year, which kind of really opened my eyes to a bunch of other cultures and how they work and how they have come to be and things like that. And I don't know, I find that a lot of the times there's just a lack of understanding of others' perspectives when it comes to government or things like that. So I would really want to advocate for those who can't get their perspectives heard, and that's why I would want to be in the UN one day.
Yeah, definitely. What do you believe is your strongest quality as a candidate, and what is your weakest?
My strongest quality as a candidate, it would be, I would say, my extrovertedness and my leadership skills. Those kind of I would say they're fall within the same umbrella. But I just think being able to, get up in front of a group, get everyone going, get everyone hype. I always kind of the hype person. If you know me, I'm super a loud person. So I just I have to warm up to people, and then you'll know automatically. You're oh, there's Cooper. You can hear him walking down the hall. But I think honestly that would be good for me with chair. Just having that loud personality. And I love to party too. So
There you go. That's the position for it.
Yeah, and my weakest would be. I would say my weakest would be confrontation. Mm-hmm. I struggle with confronting someone if say someone was kind of slacking off on their job or something, or someone came to me and they were like, hey, this is a concern, could you address this to the executive board or whatever. I would be I would do it. It would just be, it's kind of harder for me to,
mm-hmm.
tell someone straight up. I try to be as nice as possible to people and lay it easy, but I just am not a huge fan of confrontation. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So
yeah. I think I said nearly verbatim the same thing running for vice president one year, so that will not be an impediment to doing the job. So what is your, going back to a similar thing as the events we haven't done before, what is your best idea for a social theme we haven't done before? And again, if you say something we've already done, I'll let you know.
I would say my best idea for something social, a social gathering,
or just a theme the theme of a party.
Oh, the theme of a party.
Yes.
Okay. That's a fun question. I would say everyone dress as their favorite president. I feel like that would be a fun little theme to bring to the table. You know, I'm a very big history nerd, so
yeah. I think you'd end up with a lot of name tags at that party, but I think it'd be a good idea. All right, moving on to the final one here. Round 3, beliefs: left, middle, or right?
We'll go with right.
Right. Is there anything in your life that feels like prayer?
That feels like prayer. Can you reword that maybe?
Yeah. These are this and several other questions are little secret for the listeners, ripped straight from an existing podcast called Wild Card from NPR. I think it's intended as a question for for people who aren't religious, what is something that gives you the same mental clarity, spiritual connectedness that praying gives somebody who is religious? Or if you are religious, you can say praying. That's a totally acceptable answer.
Right. Okay, yeah. So I'll give 2 answers. So I am religious, so I would say praying, but also I would say conducting. I was with drum major. That's one of my biggest passions. So it was just conducting and being in front of the band. There was really no other feeling hearing that drop of music and then just hitting on the cues. It was just the best thing ever. Marching band, it was amazing, and just being in front of everyone conducting was really my biggest passion. So yeah, just kind of the job as a whole too, getting to work with so many people, awesome people, and I would say that would be kind of my feels like prayer. And if it's not that anymore, because I'm not in band in here, but I would say running would be my other one. Just because I find running to be super super therapeutic. You can just kind of, especially long runs. I hit an 11-mile run, put in some AirPods, whatever, and I'm gone. That's your time to think and just kind of separate yourself. So I would feel like that is something that would feel like prayer.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty, well, congratulations, Cooper. You've won the game. We end the show the same way every time with a trip in our memory time machine. Now, this is very simple. First, just close your eyes. Now, the memory time machine can take you back to any moment in your life. It's not a moment you want to change anything about, just somewhere you'd like to linger a little longer, just a moment you'd like to bask in. It can be absolutely anything at all. There is no wrong answer. What memory do you choose?
I'm such a nerd. Okay. Here's my, so it would definitely be marching band once again. Back my junior year at BOA, which is like Bands of America. And I was with my best friend. We were both like drum majors at the time, so leading together. But like we were literally just like so delirious from like not having any sleep all day. And then that same day, my parents like had surprised me because it was like I think it was around my 16th birthday. Like they surprised me with a car, so like they sent me pictures, like so I had that like feeling of like waiting to get like my brand new car and like and then also at the same time doing the thing that I love. So I feel like that was probably one of the highest moments of my life. It's just my junior year at BOA.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great answer. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Cooper. I had a wonderful time, but just before we go, you've got the next 45 seconds to say whatever you would like to voters. The floor is yours.
Okay, so everyone, you should definitely vote for me because I would love to be the chair. I would love to bring life to the party and bring up new themes that we've never done before. I would love to incorporate service projects more often, and I would love to just work with everyone and get to know people and helping wherever I can. I always want to be an outlet for someone, so if anyone ever needs anything, I would be there for them. And I would always try to do my best for you, and I hope the same goes both ways. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you again to Cooper for coming on the show. That does it for this time on Wildcard from MUNPR. Stay tuned for our other episodes with the other candidates for membership chair, and I will see you next time.